There are rumors going around that we already own ETFs on the XRP system for XRP, but ETPs are not available. We are going to talk about comparing XRP, ETP, TP to ETFs. I'm going to break it down. You are going to leave. Looking at this video, it's easy to see the differences and what they really mean. We now have XRPs. Do not wait any longer. Let us begin. There are things like the start of the markets and the total 2,064 cryptocurrency market value, billion Bitcoin 69,119 right now coming up behind them. 28% for the day before. The price of Ethereum is up 1.78%, and the ETF is now selling at $386. Many of you already know this, but it's funny that many of these Bitcoin maxis are so angry. They are so mad that Ethereum now has an ETF, which you already know. You know what a community is, right? They were all following the XRP group and were best friends. Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency that Maxis isn't talking to right now. They stopped talking to Ethereum users who were mad that Ethereum got an ETF. People always thought that Bitcoin was the only one that was meant to be it. Okay, I have some good news for them. Since Ethereum isn't going to get an ETF, it will be possible for you to see Solana and XRP. There will be groups that look at the different ETF types and people, so they better buckle up because they have a long trip ahead of them. As of right now, it's down about 3% since then. The day before, while we were shopping at the market, you can see that everything is going well. Here, the link is still a bit higher, having gone up by almost 0.5%. You need to look at these prices right now because you won't remember them in 3 to 6 months. This market will be very different as a whole. I'm excited. And then we hear that Donald Trump is going to promise to drive less. If Ross Ivey wins the presidency, he will have to serve his time. He has been in jail for 11 years now. We'll be able to convince him. A look at Trump's win at home, he will be brought home by him. Remember, that Ross was the one who started the dark web. He was found guilty for Bitcoin. I think he says sorry, but I'm getting bored here. I think he has 2 lives, almost 2 separate ones. Anything silly for what he was doing with the black Bitcoin and the web in real life. You can watch a great movie if you haven't already. Do something else and forget about it. You are going to find it. It might have been called Silk Road. That's what it was really called. This is a good movie. Even if you don't know everything about it, you should watch it. This video is really great, but it will help you understand what life was like in the early Silk World. You could kind of understand what was going on while he was doing this. After that, we got this. Also, this is interesting. Let's start this way. Coin Norm, supposedly cocky and smart, caused the market cap to drop by 40% from 35,000 to 1 million. Listen to the music. I mean, look at it. It's just joke coins. That is what happens. That's why I don't want you to go. You will want to play the game if you want to look cute after the jokes are over. You want to leave. After the meme does it, you'll know it's not mine. The money will be yours in the end. That being said, this is what we see. If it were to happen to me, it's not worth the risk. We know that the market for cryptocurrencies is about to get hot. Coins are something we all know. Coins connect XLM, Coinvax H bar. They will also go up, which is why I'm just waiting a little longer. This is mine. People are usually impatient because they want to make money quickly. They want to get money quickly, but now is not the time. This very large thing is almost here. If you're bullish, you'll take off and run, and you're trying to cheat. Enter a cheat code to get a short 2-month wait. If 1 month goes by, just sit back and relax. Enjoy the trip. You'll enjoy it, I promise. You'll enjoy this once it starts, and you'll love how exciting it is. It's exciting to see these 80 to 200% leaps in coin prices. I've been there during 2 bull runs. These were great times that will live on forever in history. Trump gets the electronic vote. Donald J. Trump, bank XRP. I'm very optimistic about this new area of importance, and I am ready to back cryptocurrency businesses in general. Our country needs to be the best at what it does. K doesn't have a second spot, Joe Biden. But the president who has done the worst job in our country's history is eager to die. A terrible and slow death that will never happen to me. Spot, you already know that Biden hasn't done anything for crypto. He's letting you know about the people who are in his care or who put and drive these coin businesses out. In the US, there is no other place. You won over evil. You set an example when you come up with new ideas, like how you dealt with Web 2.0. You lead the way as you march forward. You own all the money in the area. And any business that comes to this area because of your clear rules and laws, or you lose Trump. That's it for me. I'm sure I won't play this. I'm going to get hit for that nonsense. YouTube, but he says he'll make sure of it. The future of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies will be made in the United States. Please let me ask Brad about this XRP. These are the bankers, Corin. Jinghome comes from ASCB screen. That wave agreed to. We're starting version 4 at the same time as version 1.0, so there are already goods on the market that go with it. What a tech company should do, which is always exciting. This is version 1.0 of the product. When that version came out, one of our partners was one of the biggest banks in the Middle East. We came to market from the East, went live, and got a call from someone who was very angry. A banker from the Middle East says, wait a minute, other people can see the transactions I want to keep secret, check out the blockchain to see what I've done. Strong, and deals can be closed with an open record, but banks, let's say that different people added each SCB transaction to a public record. Would that make SB glad? This is the answer, no, I'm going to tell you the truth. Without a doubt, some of our technology has changed over time. XRP is a public record that anyone can see. Banks can get liquidity options through a separate part of Ripple's innovation. It belongs to you. Think of it as a private problem. Two banks are linked by a short blockchain. By using cryptography, the trade is signed, held in escrow, and released all at the same time. So there is never a time when a transaction doesn't finish. But I'd like to make the case that are you the ones who back this idea of, look, it should be possible to see every transaction. Look at it, I think you already know. Isn't it the real world that we can reach? Let's talk about the start, especially with Bitcoin. Other signs have included the idea that we're going to get around the authorities. We won't want the government engaged, so we'll skip the look banks and Ripple. Let's begin. From the exact opposite point of view, the government will always be around. There will still be extension banks. From afar, we can let banks turn on a useful internet. If you want to make your internet connection useful, you need to connect to the important records. The banks we use are good places to store things. Want to work with banks or other financial institutions that accept payment providers that you know, like PayPal, Linlin Pay, or Fill-in blank to greatly speed up the current state of payment methods and lower their resistance. As you may know, we're working hard because of this and we'll win in the end. The cash will be brought in with the cash. As was already said, though, institutions take a long time when you use the bank's financial staff. In the time it takes for Bitcoin to already make this sense, please help me understand what people are talking about when they talk about XRP ETFs. At the moment, they have at least 2 large corporations, 21 shares, and Honor. XRP, and I got them back for you. It's not possible that these are ETFs. What makes ETPs different are these two things. I know. There are a million different exchange-traded products on ETPs, but what do we see when we look at an ETP instead of an ETF? It can be bought and sold on market rights and comes in a number of different financial instruments. It could be an ETP, it could be an ETN, which is the same thing as an ETF. An E-traded note, or ETTC, is a place where that thing can be bought and sold. They also have different structures, such as the resources they are based on, and they can rely on debt or equity items. What is an ETP that fits into a certain group now that you've seen an ETF? An ETP isn't always an ET, isn't always an ETF, but ETFs are based on pooling assets that track an index. ETFs can be used to invest in commodities, index monitoring bonds, commodities, or asset packages. In general, they are open-ended investments. Money. So what are some of the most important things here? The changes aren't that big. Tips, it's a bigger range of goods and people, such as an ETF and other things. If ETFs are only useful for what funds were meant to do, then why are all ETFs ETPs? Some ETFs are traded on exchanges for things, but not all of them are. This is a product ETFs. ETFs are an example of a broader group that includes financial instruments that can be bought and sold. So this is where things are different. The most important thing to remember about ETPs, or exchange-traded funds, is that not all of them are ETFs.